Hi, welcome back. For this particular problem, we will make use of the commands that we used before, like the circle, tangent, tangent, radius, and this is done for this arc over here, R74. We will make use of relative polar coordinates. That's quite surprising. You thought you'd never get to use it. And this is used over here where you draw a center line so that it can intersect this line and the arc. Okay, this is because the radius is not known, right? The radius is not known, so you can't key in the radius. So what you may have to do to draw this arc, you actually have to select this point and select the point that is here at the intersection of the 120-degree line to the straight line over here. Then we will use the mirror image. This is for efficiency's sake, where you need not keep drawing all the rest. What we do is we draw half of the features over here and mirror the other half across. Okay, so this is how we will approach this problem. And as with all problems, we will start with the center lines first. Right, we will start with the center lines first. So starting with the center line, I will draw a center line somewhere in this distance, and I know that it will approximately be somewhere around maybe 80 or 90. Maybe let's put 100. Okay, and I press escape, and I will draw the first center line here, down. Let me zoom in a little. Then I'll offset, and the center distance that I'll offset for the circle that's on the extreme right hand side, the offset distance is 58. So I'll type in 58, enter. I'll select this line, move it over to here. Okay, then what I'll do is I'll draw the I'll offset a bit more center lines. I'll offset the center lines for the smaller circle at the top. Which one am I talking about? It's this offset distance. So what I'll do is that I'll offset in the y direction by 24. From here to here is 24 because this distance here is 48, and 48 divided by 2, 24. And I'll offset a distance by 18. Okay, 18. Right? So it's in the x direction 18 and the y direction 24. So I'll offset 18, and then I will offset again 24. Okay. Oops. So because I've offset 24, I know that I need to increase this, right, slightly further. I will draw the circles on the, whoops, didn't mean to do that. That's supposed to be a center line. I'll draw the first few circles that's required, and the first circle that I draw with the diameter, right, and the diameter for this is diameter 12. Okay, and then there is an arc that shares the same center, and the arc is R14. Okay, and then there is a circle here, and the circle here is diameter 25. Diameter 25, so since it's radius, I'll just put 12.5. And there is an outer arc that is R24. It's an outer arc that is R24. R24. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, I know that I have a center line here, so I want to trim it a little. Okay, so that it doesn't get in the way. Now for the trimming, right, there is, I didn't mention it in the previous video. There may be a tendency where you are sliding it across the length and you may make a slight error, or you may shift out, and the line is no longer straight. Okay, although it's quite improbable, but to prevent that from happening, once you select the end of the blue square, the blue square here, right, what you can do is you can right click and you click lengthen, and what that does is that it constrains the line so that it doesn't move left or right. Okay, so for this case, I'll move it all the way to here. Maybe I'll zoom in a little. Okay, trim this a bit for now. And we know that there is a arc, okay, or there's a radius of R74 that is tangent to this circle and this circle. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the tangent radius command. Select one tangent here, select another tangent here, and then enter the value of 74. Okay, right. So now to make life easier, I'll do my trimming so that because when you start drawing too many features, right, it will start to be very messy. Okay, so what I do is I'll trim these earlier on, and then I'll zoom in and I'll trim this. That's because if you don't trim it early enough, you may end up leaving dots or lines that will get in your way, and then you lose marks from there. Okay, now so this part is more or less done. We're going to draw the line that is the outline that is offset from the center, and that line thickness, right, that stem, okay, is 20 millimeters thick. So if you offset from the center, you will be offsetting it by 10 millimeters. So I put 10, enter, and I offset from the center 10. Okay, now this line is you press escape. This line is the center line, so I want to change it back to outline. Okay, press escape, and what I want to do is I would like to shorten this line. Okay, or maybe I don't bother with the shortening of the line. What I do is I draw a line from here, it intersects here. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll trim it so that I don't get an overly messy drawing later. Okay, now there is a fillet radius at this corner here, R5, and the fillet command, right, you type in the fillet command, you can't click the object straight away, right? Although it says select first object, you need to stop yourself from that. You need to actually look at the bar over here, and they are actually asking you what is the function. So you need to state you are going to define the radius first, and the radius is 5 millimeters, and you enter. And this is the time where you select the two straight lines that will be bounded by the radius. Okay, so once you've done with this, you can see that your shape is more or less done. Okay, now the next thing is this line over here that comes out is a 120 degrees line, and it cuts the horizontal outline over here. So I'm going to my center line, and I'm going to draw a line that is this coming out this way. Okay, so my center line, I may put it at 16, tab, and this is the part where you need to do a bit of math, and you know that from the horizontal axis to this, it's actually 120 degrees. Why? Because you take the 120 degrees, you divide it by 2, it's 60 degrees, the angle that's on the left hand side. Then you take 180 minus 60, you actually get 120 degrees. Okay, so this is 120. And I have this line over here. You need not draw the extra line because you can mirror it later. Then you draw an outline, and you draw a normal circle, right? What you do is click here, and you intersect this point here. Okay, so that becomes your R. And to this day, I don't know what my R is. It doesn't matter to me because I know there is a center point here and it intersects this point here. So the value of R it doesn't matter at all. So what I'll do is I'll trim this to make it tidy. Alright. I won't trim this, or actually I'll trim that later. And then let me give a quick check to see if I've got most of, if not all of the features before I do the mirror. Okay. Now this mirror command, you click this icon over here. They will prompt you to select the objects that you want to mirror. So I'm going from left to right. This is the first object I want to mirror. I want to mirror this object. Okay, wait, hang on for a second. Before I do my mirror command, I want to tidy up my center line. Okay, so I lengthen. Yeah, lengthen. Okay. Now how to do that without making so much of a mess? I didn't articulate it. What you do is you select your, let's say you select this line. Alright. And what you do is you don't left click, you just move your mouse over to the blue square, and then they will give you an option whether you want to stretch or lengthen, and you click lengthen, and that's where you can move along this axis. Okay, so you don't need to left click, you just hold on to the square and then you click lengthen, and you can click this way, right? Okay, so I'm tidying up my center lines, and every now and then you should try and tidy it up so that it doesn't get overly messy. Now back to the mirror. You click the mirror icon and you will be mirroring this arc. This arc, you'll be mirroring this, this, and this. So you notice I move from left to right, and I move from the outer features to the inside so that I don't miss out on any of the things that I need to mirror. Okay, and I need to mirror this center line as well. Okay, then you give yourself a quick check so that you don't have to keep doing the mirror command twice. Now, if you are happy with your selection, you can press enter or you right click. Okay, the minute you right click means you end the selection of all the objects that you want to mirror. After you right click, right, they will ask you to specify the first point of the mirror line. And this is where you can specify any point that is along the horizontal axis that splits the drawing in the middle. So you could select the first point, and if you select your second point here, what will happen is that it will mirror it at an angle. So you don't want to do that, you want to select it on the horizontal line. Now once you selected the 2 points which defines the mirror plane, the next question they will ask you is whether you want to erase the source object. And by default it's no, you don't want to erase it, because if you erase it, then your drawing will only be in the half. So I say no, and this is what you have. Okay. Next thing I'm doing is I'm going to trim away the arcs. I don't need this. Right? I don't need this, and I don't need this. Okay. At this point, you want to zoom in and compare your drawing to the drawing on the problem, and make sure that you have not left out any features. You have not left out any of the trimming of the center lines. Okay. Over here, I'm just gonna tidy it up. Lengthen, tidy it up. Okay. Then what else is there? This one here is too long. Tidy it up. So I make it smaller. This one here, then I'm making it smaller. Okay. Press escape. And this is how it's going to be. Right? And this is done for figure 2, question 3a.